Squirrel and Rabbit's Honorable Gift to the Deer, a story about personal space. I take a deep breath of fresh air and let the serenity of the forest fill my soul. The crunching of new grass beneath my feet is my only companion, but it's all I need right now. It's been a long day of helping my neighbors prepare their garden, but being here makes it all worthwhile. The scent of fresh flowers all around me is a reminder that nature has a way of restoring us. "Hey there, Mr. Deer! It's good to see you!" a hurried voice shouts in the distance. "Yes, it's been far too long," adds another excitedly. I'm jolted out of my thoughts by lively chatter and thumping nearby. There's some kind of commotion going on. I can't help but investigate. I make my way through the wildflowers to find the source of all of this. In a small clearing just before the grove, I come to find them. A deer smiles and nods at a fluffy rabbit and a caramel squirrel, happy to see them, but I notice how uneasy he is and is trying to back away from them. Guys, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but could you please, he asks them, trying to be gentle. I approach carefully and notice the poor deer standing in the center of the tight group, bleary-eyed and uncomfortable. The young squirrel and rabbit are chatting away thrilled, but seem to be oblivious to the deer's discomfort. It's clear they are all encroaching on his personal space. They all seem like nice folks. I would hate to see this get much worse. I resolve to help the deer and show him what he needs. I softly introduce myself, careful not to startle them. "Hello there, I'm having a walk through our forest today, and I couldn't help but notice that Mr. Deer seems a bit uneasy. Is everything okay?" The deer looks at me with large, worried eyes. "Oh, it's nothing. Just feeling a bit claustrophobic today." I nod sympathetically. I understand. Everyone feels closed in sometimes. I look to the rabbit and deer. Maybe we give sweet Mr. Deer a little more space so he feels better. They gather around, intrigued by our conversation. The rabbit speaks up. "What do you mean by personal space?" I take a look around, searching for the right words. "Well, personal space is the area around our body that we consider to be our very own. It's like a bubble around us that protects us from unwanted contact or too much information. When someone enters that personal space without permission, it makes us feel uncomfortable, kind of like we're being invaded." The squirrel looks positively puzzled. "But we all live here in the forest. How can we avoid invading each other's personal space?" I take a deep breath. "It's just a way to protect ourselves," I explain patiently. "It's a natural instinct that we have to keep ourselves safe from potential danger. When someone enters our personal space without our permission, it makes us feel uncomfortable or even threatened." They exchanged confused looks. "For example," I add, "when you're eating your dinner, do you like it when someone comes and sits right next to you, even if there are other empty spots available? Or when you're trying to take a nap, do you like it when someone comes and shakes you awake?" They shake their heads. That's because they're invading your personal space. The deer nods in agreement, clearly relieved that someone understands how he's feeling. But the rabbit and the squirrel still seem unconvinced. "I don't understand why it's such a big deal," says the rabbit. "I mean, we all live in the same forest. Shouldn't we be able to get along?" I can feel my heartbeat quickening, and I wonder if it might be time to make my way back home. It's not about getting along or not. It's about respecting each other's boundaries and giving each other the space we need to feel safe and comfortable. Just like how you wouldn't want someone to come into your burrow without asking. But the rabbit and squirrel still aren't moving away from the deer. I take a moment and try to think of another way to explain it to them, but my mind draws a blank. Just as I was about to give up, my eyes catch the stars twinkling in the sky above us, and I remember the fireflies. Instead of explaining it, I'll show them what I mean. I wonder if they know about them. "I know how we can help Mr. Deer understand," I said, smiling. "Does anyone know the Firefly Chant?" The animals looked at me with more confusion, so I explained, "There's a little chant to them that my grandmother taught me when I was feeling overwhelmed." They each take their time gathering closer to me. I consult my memory and begin softly. "Firefly, firefly, bright and small, keep your light above us all. Your light is yours and mine is mine. We need our space to feel just fine." As I chant, a group of fireflies appears, circling above us and lighting up the twilight forest with their glow. We all watch carefully as they float in their own separate bubbles of light. After a few silent moments, the fireflies hovering around me, their tiny bodies pulsing with light, start to dance all around me in a sphere that spans the distance of my arms. The deer watches in amazement as they protect the space around me. "See," I said, gesturing to the glowing balls of light, "we all need our own space sometimes, even me, and that's okay." They nod slowly, beginning to understand. "So why is Mr. Deer feeling uncomfortable?" asked the squirrel. "Well," I answered, "it looks like you are gathered tightly around him right now. He may just need a little bit more space to feel more comfortable." The rabbit hops up excitedly. "Oh, I do see." I nod enthusiastically. "Exactly. It's important to respect each other's boundaries and communicate when we need some space or even alone time. Just like the fireflies and me, we all need our own little bubbles of light to feel safe and happy." I turned my attention to the deer. "Anyone can do it, too. They'll float your way when you need them most and help to make the space. Just repeat the little chant and they will come." I opened my arms and relished their presence with a twirl. "Why don't you try it, Mr. Deer?" The deer relaxes as I speak, nodding his head in agreement. He clears his throat, takes a deep breath, and remembers what to say. "Firefly, firefly, bright and small, keep your light above us all. Your light is yours and mine is mine. We need our space to feel just fine." The fireflies take note and float over to surround Mr. Deer now, already knowing how much room to mark around him. They gleam and glow all around us, and we can see that he actually needed the space of a giant boulder around him. Even I was surprised at the revelation, but happy everyone could see now. We all take a few steps just past the bubble of fireflies. "Oh, I see now too," says the squirrel with relief. "We didn't mean to invade your space, Mr. Deer. We were just excited to see you. It's been so long." "It's okay," acknowledges the deer. "Thank you for taking the time to understand and for honoring me." The whole group relaxes and continues their conversation. The rabbit starts sharing funny stories while the squirrel bounces around telling silly jokes, being sure to keep out of the fireflies. I giggle at his antics and tell one of my own, say, "Why did the sun go to school?" Blank expressions all around. "To get brighter." The squirrel snickers. The deer, now at ease, shares stories of his own with his own throaty voice. They talk about their daily routines, what they like to do for fun, and even about their dreams. In fact, the deer feels comfortable sharing a curious dream he had the other night about the trees in the forest. "In my dream, the trees grew tall and high, stretching towards the endless sky. Animals climbed up to see the stars, a sight so wondrous it seemed bizarre. But in the dream I stayed below, with plenty of space to come and go, for I am a deer and I need my room to avoid feeling of impending doom. I am sensitive, I notice it all, the slightest sound, the tiniest fall, so I keep my distance to feel at ease, to prevent anxiety and unease. Some may say I'm standoffish, aloof, but I just need space, it's my own truth. In this world of constant noise and rush, I'll keep my distance, it's where I find hush." Everyone nods at the thought, understanding the deer a little more. We stand in a peaceful silence, and little squirrel pipes up. "Hey dear, did you know that I once dreamt of acorns that were bigger than my entire body? The deer looks up at the squirrel with interest. Really? That's quite a dream, little one. The rabbit jumps in, and I dreamt of a carrot that was big as a house. The deer smiles and chuckles. Well, you both have quite the imaginations. We all laugh and share our fanciful dreams, feeling closer than ever before. It is a beautiful moment of camaraderie and respect made possible by the simple act of acknowledging the deer's needs. The fireflies seem to sense that the deer is at ease now and no longer in need of their help, so they drift off through the grasses to their next adventure. I decide it's also time for me to go, and I wish them a good night and sweet dreams. As I walk away, I can't help but reflect on how important giving space is in our world. Even the smallest creatures like ants and spiders have their own bubbles that they defend fiercely. We each have our own need for space, and it's important to be aware of it and respect the boundaries of others. Respecting personal space is an easy way to show that we care about others and care about their comfort. We can help avoid misunderstandings and conflicts and restore one another. I continue my tranquil solo journey through the forest and promise myself to always remember the lesson that my new friends, the deer, squirrel, and rabbit, have taught me tonight. To give the gift of space and treat others with kindness and understanding when their needs are different than mine. And so that, my dear friends, ends the story of the squirrel and rabbit's honorable gift to the deer. A chrysanthemum story written and illustrated by me, Autumn Rennie.